What are some things that you've liked, that you've seen from this team that you liked going into this upcoming game?
I mean, I think the biggest thing I like is they got a pretty good understanding of community, the importance of community. You know, they share the locker room, they spend time with each other, they do life together, they got good relationships, but at the same time, they're not afraid of calling each other out, you know, in practice. So I see a healthy locker room. In a short period of time, I think a lot of guys coming together, you know, really starting to connect. So that's one of the things that I've enjoyed. The other thing is, you know, they want to compete. You know, they want to compete. They want to work hard. Again, if there's 10 practices, 7 of them I enjoy the guys, 3 of them I don't like the guys. But you know, that's part of the process.
How does that split compare to your past teams?
Well, I mean, I think, you know, it ain't fair to compare because my last, you know, you get a first team where, you know, you go through a storm. You know, I've been through storms plenty times, and I'm sure we'll see some stormy days here. Smart enough to know you ain't just gonna jump to the top of the hill in one day. I've been in a storm at a lot of different places. You know, been in a storm at Wichita State, I've been in a storm at College of Charleston, been in a storm at Clemson. But we weathered the storm and we get to the other side of it. So I think it's not fair to compare the last groups because, you know, until you have a group that's of 8 or 9 guys that been to war together and they returning together, that's when you reap the benefits. When you got a group coming together, you have to fight through adversity together. You have to show up the next day and find a way to rally and get back on your horse and keep going to battle. So I would imagine this team, you know, we're going to be in a battle every night. So it is what it is. Got to embrace it and find a way to scratch and claw as much as we can and, you know, try to exceed as many expectations as we can this year. And then, you know, hopefully that means we win more than everybody think we're going to win, you know. But there'll be some adversity. We got to embrace it.
Early kids all came in and they talked about defense.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you've talked about defense and your drills were defense. How long did it take to get them to buy into that? Because it sounded like they did. And what percentage of you believed in defense more than, you know, letting them worry about offense?
Well, as a head coach, one of my first, defensively for my 22 years in the business, I just worked with guys who believe in defense. So I grew up as a guy, you know, if I had a coach that I'm a really embrace, it would have been Judd Heathcote, old Michigan State guy, you know, but obviously Kelvin Sampson and Tom Izzo work for him. So you gotta defend and rebound. You start right there. You gotta take care of the ball. Them are the 3 things you gotta do first: defend, rebound, take care of the ball. If you're in football and if you're playing football and a guy can't get in the end zone, you got a chance to win. If you're playing basketball, a guy have a hard time putting the ball in the hole, you got a chance to win, as long as you don't turn it over every time. So you gotta play hard and smart. But what I learned in my first 2 years at the College of Charleston as a head coach, there was one game that jumped out to me. We were playing in Baltimore at Townsend, and at halftime we were up 19-8, and we won 35-28. And I said, we got to find a way to score this ball a little bit better. So there was a balance. We needed more offensive threats. So we added more offensive threats, and then we could score more. But it all starts. We got to build a foundation, okay? Or the whole program is going to crumble. You got to build a foundation. It's going to start with defense, rebounding, and taking care of the ball.
How's it been, from the little bit I've seen so far? Also, hi, nice to meet you, like over as opposed to over Zoom. But from the little bit I've seen so far, it's like it's been about establishing like a culture of like an atmosphere of like competitiveness and like edge in these practices. How have you gone about trying to just like make sure that that's a part of the team?
Well, I mean, I just think that's just kind of, you know, like I said, I've been able for 20 years, 22 years. That's how I've been raised. That's how I've been taught to fly the plane. That's what I seen for the last 22 years. I mean, just that's the practices I've been a part of. That's the kind of guys I work for. So that's me. You know, it's just natural. That's who I am. That's what I believe. That I think hard work works. And I think that if you show up every day and you compete at a high level, you're going to be able to look yourself in the mirror. You're going to be able to sleep at night. Now, that don't mean you won, you know, but if I go against you and you just that much better than me, and but I fight you, and it's been a war, you remember that, and you don't want to play me again, then what will happen is eventually we'll start finding a way to win some of those games. And hopefully when I have that war with you, I can win that battle. But sometimes we'll go to war. We have to find peace in the pursuit of what we're trying to become. And that's where we have to find our joy, all in the pursuit of who we're trying to become. So, and I'm comfortable with that. I've been in it before, so I'm excited about it.
Coach, each assistant coach kind of brings their own unique individualism to it, and I know you obviously have had a relationship with your coaches before you came to BC. But what is it about them at their position, at what they excel at, that when you guys all come together, will make something special for these guys on the team?
Well, I mean, we got talented coaches. I mean, Coach Molinari got 300 wins as a head coach. Been to the NCAA tournament as a head coach. Coached at the highest level for 40 years. And, he's an old school, he just want to, 3 yards in a cloud of dust type guy. Just want to say, hey, you can't get past this line here. We're gonna have some confrontation. So he's just a defensive guy. I think that Mark Wood, I battled with Mark Wood for the last 7 years. He worked for Bill Combs. So Mark Wood is more of the calmer influence, the more of, hey man, we got to really space it and spread it and work to get a good shot offensively. He's more of an offensive thinker. And then Goins is a blend. He's worked for a lot of good coaches over the last 12 years. And he's an energetic young guy, defensive guy, got great offensive thoughts, skill development guy. So I got a great staff. I think I got one that's been a head coach, for 15 plus years, and I got two that's going to be head coaches within the next 3 to 5 years.
Earl, a lot of new pieces, including yourself here, but the Langford brothers, they were here already. How important has it been to have them and have them stay here and be a part of this new journey?
I mean, they're a big part of it. They're a big part of it. They've already been through some adversity, and I think it's hard to move a program forward without guys who've been through hard things. So they've been through some hard things. I think that's an important part of us building this program, and they're talented. Both of them have experience, and both of them are talented, and both of them really fit how I like to, play in terms of what the Lord has blessed them with, the tools that they have, the athleticism, the speed. So they automatically are fit in terms of how we need to try to be successful, and they already been through hard things. So I think it's been a blessing that they are here, that they can help us, in this first phase to try to move the program forward.
Talk about how Brevin overcame the injury, and do you see what you saw from him 2 years ago?
Yeah, Brevin, obviously he, redshirted for me, played limited minutes as a redshirt freshman, started every game as a redshirt sophomore. Been a part of some big wins we had, against Power 5 people, where he's made a lot of threes and scored the ball. So I've seen him in games against ACC and Big East and, on the road in the A-10. I've seen him how he act and function in hard places, and he's been able to produce. So I'm glad he's here. He made like 75, 83s this last year, and then he was averaging 20 points last season before he got hurt. And so he's came back beautifully. Glad he's here. Didn't play against Harvard in the scrimmage. Played against Marquette, limited minutes, but scored the ball well. So definitely happy that he's here, because he can really shoot the ball and open up lanes for our drivers with his weapon to shoot the ball. And then his understanding of, our system, his understanding of me. I'm sure he can help the guys in the locker room, about maybe how I would respond to certain things. So I think it's been really, really good. And his personality. He's a natural BC fit. He's always been a 3.5 student. He's got a master's degree. Like, you don't worry about him away from the court. You have all A's and B's, make pretty good decisions, gonna be a good teammate. So if there was somebody to bring, that's the type of guy you want to bring.
Yeah, I was just going to ask about Brevin and having someone as a carryover from Charleston. you know, can you just elaborate on what it does for you to have a familiar face in the room?
Well, he's the only one, only player that, you know, understand anything we're doing. So everything we teach is new. And if you ain't fluent in the language, it takes a lot of time to get fluent. So, you know, teaching our system, it should be plain language because it's English, but you're talking about a complete new system for these guys. You know, if I say something, if I call a drill, you guys were at practice today, and that practice is supposed to be 1 hour and 30 minutes. That practice took 2 hours because I had to repeat things. Obviously, Brevin wasn't out on the court today. You know, he'll be back at next practice, but having him as a guy that can help the guys understand the language has probably been the most beneficial thing. And then even in recruiting, you know, we got a parent, recruits come in the locker room, and we doing different things with them and the parents. When they pull Brevin to the side, they say, hey, you know, really tell me about this guy, you know. So he can say, hey, here's what I know. So I think his familiarity of how we try to do things has been a good thing for our staff, our players, and even in our recruiting process.
You mentioned you've been through storms before, a lot of different programs. As a coach, this isn't the first time you ever seen a preseason poll before, right?
Yeah.
Like when you saw this one, did you take it any kind of way? Did you say, all right, this is where we're starting from?
No, I'm glad I saw what I saw. You know, I'm glad I saw what I saw. You know, because I mean, we only got one way to go. So, you know what I mean? Only one way to go. You can't go no further down under the earth. So, you only can go up. So, you know, for me, it's a good starting point. It's a good starting point. You know, it's a lot of opportunity with that, and ain't the first time that I've been a part of a team that had that number. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. I mean, we got a hill to climb, and this first year, you can build a foundation, and hopefully we can climb some, and you just keep pushing from there.